147th Nebraska State Fair begins Friday, August 26th in Grand Island and runs through September 5th. As you've seen previously on Market Journal, a major display at the fair is the Raising Nebraska exhibit. The 25,000 square foot space aims to connect with consumers and teach them more about where their food comes from and how it's raised. Nebraska Extension Dean and Director Chuck Hibberd has discussed the Raising Nebraska exhibit before on Market Journal. We spoke with him again this week to learn more about new additions to the display for this year and to learn more about its purpose.
Consumers in some cases are confused or have questions about where their food comes from, how it's produced, the cultural conditions, all those kinds of things. So Raising Nebraska was really an opportunity to provide an educational experience for consumers. And what was really different about this is it wasn't just us telling our story. We tried to frame everything in that exhibit around the way consumers would respond, the way consumers would react, give them lots of choices, lots of opportunities to learn things, and then to respond and react to those things. So that's why it's different than most exhibits like this.
A few years in now, what do you feel like that reaction has been like?
You know, it's been very, very positive. One of the things that we do that has really been effective is we have these trusted voice videos. And people can come in and they can choose whatever video. There's about 20 different ones that they can look at. They can choose the ones that they're interested in. The number 2 most popular video, because we can track this, is Sally McKenzie's video on GMOs. But the number 1 video, and this is the one that I think just kind of tells the story, the number 1 video was titled, "Do Cows Mind Being Milked?" Right? So our consumers are thinking about questions. They have questions in different ways than we would normally think about framing those questions, and Raising Nebraska has helped us respond to those.
What's new this year?
You know, 2 things that we're really excited about. Nebraska Environmental Trust has funded a project to help us create a learning experience around soil. And, you know, people, I think, take soil for granted, right? We walk on it, it blows around every once in a while. They call it dirt. It's not dirt, it's soil. Soil is a living organism. It's full of microbes and earthworms and all kinds of stuff. And so this exhibit really helps people understand soil, the diverse soils in Nebraska. We have something like 60 different soil types in Nebraska. So that's a big one. We're excited about that one. And you'll see a lot more on that exhibit at the State Fair. The other one that's new that's really fun and exciting is we have a quiz game about GMOs. And so 4 people can compete against each other and learn about GMOs, learn about all the different GMOs that are in our food supply, some ones they haven't thought about, didn't know about, and ones that really focused on improving human health, which we think is also important.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about GMOs between consumers and producers?
Yeah, GMOs are so important on the production side. The herbicide-tolerant crops that we raise have allowed us to greatly reduce the amount of pesticides that we apply, so we have a safer production system because of GMOs. And then some of the new GMOs that are more focused on human health, that's more the consumer side. So the golden rice, for example, where we add vitamin, we increase the amount of vitamin A in the rice. It's a healthier product for people. So those are some of the things that we're trying to help people understand.
And finally, can you just explain the industry response and partnership that you've found through this whole process of building the Raising Nebraska exhibit?
So it's really been fun to get the industry involved in this. Certainly the trusted voice videos, a lot of those came from people who represent agriculture in Nebraska. We also staff this Raising Nebraska exhibit during the State Fair with volunteers from the industry. So farmers come in, we've got a conversation pit, they can talk to people, talk about how they raise their crops, raise their animals, that sort of thing. And then a lot of the different stages that we have in the place, like our demonstration kitchen, for example, we have the commodity groups come in and they're doing different demonstrations of cooking and different kinds of things that they're doing with Nebraska agricultural products. So our industry is all behind this. They're very excited about this. You know, when we talk with our commodity boards, they tell us the number 1 thing we got to focus on is helping consumers understand their food.